seriously, Cyril, shut up. Come on, if we're gonna do this, let's do this already. All right, we're sitting ducks with you two out there. For kind of smart adult fans, the idea that you can watch a show and laugh your butt off at these kind of very, dirty, bawdy, risque jokes, but then there are like these literary references and, kind of like sociocultural references and science references that draw you deeper into a show. I think it's a really rewarding show to watch. It's not just like 30 minutes of confectionery sugar. It's got some meat on the bones. Mm-hmm. And it's the kind of show that you can watch over and over again and you discover new things about it every time you watch. And so it has like all of the perfect ingredients for a cult, for a cult show. So again, I just want it on record, I'm 100% against this. I think that what's interesting about Lana is that she also serves multiple purposes. She is a love interest, she's also a heroine, she's also kind of a combination of a straight man and a foil for Archer, but she's not like the dry kind of, she's not like the dry member of the two-man crew. And I think she really provides the heart of the show because, Archer's an asshole. So, she's the person that kind of reminds not just him, but the audience of his humanity. And I think when we think about Archer and Adam has described him as kind of like a pure expression of like the id of James Bond, he drinks too much, he smokes too much, he's super slutty, he doesn't care about anybody, but he does care about Lana. And as much of a jerk as he's been over the years, if you look back, he's actually sacrificed himself. He literally sacrificed his life several times to save Lana's. Archer has always just felt like play from the very beginning. I just never thought this show was going to get on the air because I just thought it's just too funny, too smart. You know what I mean? Too good. It's too good to get on TV. And from the very first episode that I did, I was like, well, there's just too much joy in making this. It's never going to go anywhere. And it stayed that joyful from the very beginning. And I remember the call that I got from Adam Reed when it got picked up and how delighted we both were and how we both marveled at like the fact that it was going. I mean, again, not in a negative way, but just like, holy crap, I can't believe we get to make this. So it's always felt like this delight. And it is easy. I mean, I don't have to, this is as fancy as I've ever looked for a session of Archer. I typically come in here looking very much like my brother. I don't have a brother, but if I had a brother, that's what I look like when I come here. So the idea that I just get to come and play, and we spend probably half the time just, talking shit, and then the other half making the show. The very first time for me it kind of clicked into place was the first time we went to Comic-Con. And, I'd only ever watched the show at home on my couch. And, I remember like seeing the first promos for it and, being kind of like surprised and delighted at how funny the show was. But when we walked into a room of like thousands of people watching our show together, laughing so hard that we couldn't hear like the next 5 or 6 lines of the show, and just watching people delight in the thing that we'd made, because we don't even make the show together. Like on a regular show, you're in a scene with people, you understand the dynamic and how it's going to move forward, what it's going to look like. We just do our own parts. So we don't really know what it's going to be until it's fully assembled. So to watch it in a group of fans and feel that energy, and then I was sitting next to John Benjamin, and he leaned over and he goes, wow, our show's pretty good. It's like, yeah, I'm glad you're finally getting a chance to see that now.
We're stuck inside a space nautilus between his colon and his cloaca.
What's a cloaca?
It's an organ that's used for excretion and also intercourse.
Smart.
Ever since the show started to kind of move into these like new realities, these new contexts, it's always been fun for us as a cast because we still have the same dynamic. I mean, at its heart, Archer is kind of like a very twisted office comedy. So you have these personalities and they're interacting with each other in ways that feel familiar and fun and dynamic. What's also been great about these different iterations of the show is that they kind of play on a lot of the genres that we love and know well. And so, we're on a spaceship, and so you're going to have both kind of the best of all of the sci-fi worlds that we are passionate about. Our show is deep references. It's a deep cuts show. There are Aliens references and Star Trek references and Star Wars references and, all that stuff, all that fun stuff. But then with this cast of characters that people love and connect with, it's actually really fun because the show's always been fantastical, but we get to be extra super fantastical because we're in space. So the show's really weird this season, like very strange in the best way. Lana is good everywhere at all times. Yeah. So, Lana's in charge, even though Archer's always believed he was in charge. Lana's always been in charge, and Lana will continue to take charge because everybody else is, just a bag of wet cats. She's just there to keep the kittens from drowning. Yeah. But yeah, she's great in space. We were in space once before, and I think, other than the fact that she lost her shirt, she acquitted herself just fine. Mallory's character is going to be really fun. I guess we tease a little bit of this at New York Comic Con, that she's kind of this disembodied sentient being, an orb floating in space, but then she also incorporates and disincorporates, and that's really fun. And honestly, as drunk as Mallory has gotten over the last 9 years, she's incorporated and disincorporated already many times. So this will kind of be both on character for her and then a new fun thing, because she's kind of always like popping up behind people when they least expect it.
Have you ever imagined how Lana would do on the Criminal Minds team?
Lana would be really great as an FBI profiler. I mean, she's really smart and she's thoughtful. When she's not surrounded by idiots, you know what I mean? She's very effective. I think she would tolerate. I think she'd probably shoot people a lot more, though. I think she would be like a little bit less patient than Dr. Tara Lewis is. I mean, you know, Tara's a PhD and she's a forensic psychologist. She has a very meticulous mind. She wants to take time to put things together and she wants to make the right decisions and follow the rules. And I think that Lana would just be like, well, that guy seems bad, you know. Let's eliminate that threat. So, but you know, I mean, you can't mince words with serial killers, right? You got to get these guys out of the way.
In 3. Whoa!
Damn, son of a... My last bottle of bitter